Hello everyone, today we get to talk about the sword girl who loves classical music, Sayaka Miki. Well, her Magia record self, since this Magical Girl Explained series is Magia record based. So let's get started anyway with the info. Sayaka Miki is a 14-year-old defense-type magical girl. Her eyes and hair color are blue, and she is about 158 to 160 centimeters in height. Her soul gem is a she-shaped gem, similar to a crescent moon or a mermaid's tail, located on her abdomen in her magical girl form. Sayaka's weapon is a cutlass, a type of single-edged sword, which are more common during the early age of sail as the naval weapon, used by sailors, pirates, and privateers in Europe from the 17th to the early 20th century. Sayaka's witching doppel is Oktavia von Seckendoff. Her wish to become a magical girl was to heal the arm of Kyosuke Kamijaro, so he can play his violin again. However, the exact wording of the wish is unknown. Her known relatives are her unnamed mother and aunt, and she comes from Mitakihara City, where she attends Mitakihara Middle School in the second year. Her magical girl element is the water element, and her powers and abilities are called treatment, which means she has accelerated healing. A straightforward magical girl with a strong sense of justice, she is a dear friend of Madoka and looks up to her magical girl senpai, Mami, whose fighting style of mass conjuring weapons resembles her own. She used to visit her childhood friend Kyosuke in the hospital often. The doppel of unrequited love. Its form is a mermaid. The master of this emotion suffered from young love and chose a fate so harsh that she could not bear it alone. As such, the doppel dreams of love, while it swims effortlessly through the air, playing a song for its master from its vast hollow body. It can control several swords to attack its enemies with the sound waves that emanate from its body. But as long as the master uses it, she cannot flee from the disconnect that troubles her heart. Sayaka arrives in Kamehama City to go shopping with Kyosuke Kamijaro. Sayaka insists it's not a date. Kyosuke is looking for a CD by one of his favorite violinists, while Sayaka is looking for fancy clothes or something. Suddenly, Sayaka hears a scream. Wondering if it's a witch, she runs towards it and finds herself in an empty elementary school. Finding it empty, she hears groaning and comes across Hinano Miyako. Sayaka asks if she's alright, and Hinano says she is. The girls introduce themselves. Hinano explains she got bumped on the back of the head while setting things up for the chemistry lab. Hinano suspects the culprit is still around. Sayaka decides that great Detective Sayaka-chan will help. Sayaka gives a flux case summary and asks Hinano if anyone else was around. Hinano says today's an off day, so there aren't any teachers or students around, and the kids who would come to the lab wouldn't be here so early. Hinano wonders if it's a witch, and then tells Sayaka she's just talking to herself. Sayaka asks if Hinano is a magical girl and reveals she's one herself. Hinano says she didn't detect a witch present. Sayaka agrees and said that she only ran into the school because she only thought a witch could be there when she heard screaming. Hinano wonders if the witch hit her and ran. Sayaka says the door was closed when she got there, and Hinano says it should have been closed the whole time she was preparing the lab. Hanano asks the magical detective what she thinks happened. Sayaka thinks the culprit must have entered through the room's window, since it was on the first floor. Sayaka knows that when she came in, the curtains were fluttering. Sayaka figures that the culprit has already escaped, so catching them will be difficult. Hano says that they have a lead, and with her scientific experience, she's going to shoot fire. Hanano uses a black light to show the footprints left on the floor. Turning off the light reveals many footprints. Hanano says she knows what the footprints of the school's indoor shoes are, and the ones that don't match the others belong to the culprit. They find some footprints that don't match, but Sayaka points out it could belong to a teacher. Suddenly, she sees a strange mark on the floor. After seeing where the mark leads to, Sayaka starts laughing and says she cracked the case. The culprit is a baseball. Sayaka explains that after the baseball hit Hanano, it left a mark on the floor and rolled into the corner of the room. Sayaka guessed it came from the baseball club that is out practicing on the playing field, pointing out that they can hear the children's voices. Sayaka also says that the room is directly facing the playing field, and it must have entered through the window after a kid hit it. Suddenly a child enters the room and asks for the ball back. Hanano returns it and tells the kid to be careful from now on. Sayaka says both Hanano and the child are so mature, even though they look like grade school students. Hanano asks if Sayaka said something, but Sayaka denies it. With the case solved, Sayaka decides to head back. She says that she plans on shopping and trying on some Western-style clothes. The next day, Hanano asks if Sayaka is going on a date, but Sayaka insists it isn't, disbelieving her. Hanano gives her a gift and uses her chemicals to make Sayaka a perfume. She wishes Sayaka good luck on her date, though Sayaka insists it isn't. Sayaka narrates that something unexpectedly cool happened because she helped someone out. She then narrates that magical detective Sayaka-chan can solve any problem. Having arrived in the shopping district, Sayaka goes clothes shopping, but can't pick something to buy. Suddenly, Amiri Kazaki comes by, having smelled the perfume Sayaka was given by Hanano. Thinking Sayaka is Hanano, Amiri is surprised to find someone else. When Amiri explains she smelled Hanano's perfumes, Sayaka says she met her a little while ago. Amiri says she has a unique relationship with Hanano, but then says she's just joking. Sayaka says the mystery is solved and explains she was just letting out in her inner detective. Sayaka then says she has to get back to shopping. Amiri asks if she's looking for dating attire, claiming to have learned that because she's super productive, Sayaka insists it's not actually a date, but Amiri barely listens, claiming to be the cutest in the world. Amiri declares she will coordinate Sayaka's wardrobe. Sayaka points out that they didn't introduce themselves, so soon learns that Amiri is also a magical girl. Sayaka says it's unusual to meet two in one day, but Amiri says there's tons of magical girls in Kamehama. Amiri shows Sayaka's clothing with the year's new color, salmon pink. She calls it the fashion of little devils. Sayaka thinks pink doesn't look good on her. Amiri thinks she's wrong and has her try on pink accessories. Sayaka says she liked a more subdued outfit. Amiri then shows her another outfit. When Sayaka says it's just more sweet pink, Amiri insists it's more adult-like bitter pink. Sayaka doesn't understand the difference. Amiri tells her to try it on, claiming the path to cuteness is a trying one. Sayaka says it's too trying. Despite all the things Sayaka tries on, she's not satisfied. Sayaka decides that cute just isn't her thing. Amiri insists it's not true. Sayaka said that she's happy Amiri is telling her nice things, but if she can't get into it, she'll just be uncomfortable during her date. Sayaka also says that the person she likes doesn't care about clothing or appearances. Sayaka says she believes they prefer to see people for who they are on the inside. Amiri says the person sounds nice. Sayaka says he's also a music-loving nerd, but that part of him is cool. Amiri says that lovey-dovey Sayaka is so cute. Amiri decides to take Sayaka to a special place, explaining that the location of the date is important. She explains this location will make guys fall head over heels in love. Amiri takes Sayaka to the top of a tower. Before they reach it, Amiri tells Sayaka to close her eyes. When they finally reach the spot, Amiri tells Sayaka to open her eyes and turns around. Sayaka sees a beautiful view of the city at night. Amiri calls it the #1 spot in Kamihama. Sayaka agrees. Amiri says that her guy will have a fall in love with her if she takes him to the spot. Sayaka says she wants to see it with him, even if he doesn't fall in love with her. Sayaka thanks Amiri, and Amiri says Sayaka is pure and wishes her good luck. She says that Sayaka's cuteness is up to standards. Sayaka says she'll try her hardest. Suddenly, she realizes it's late and says she has to head back. Amiri offers to take her back to the train station, claiming that adorable lady requires an escort. The girls leave. Sayaka narrates that the perfume she got led her to another encounter, where she was told about a beautiful place. Sayaka says that with her love, supported by the magical girls of Kamihama, she'll do her best. She still insists it wasn't anything like a date. The day of Sayaka's date with Kyosuke has arrived. Sayaka narrates that after they bought a CD and walked it around for a bit, she got a message from Kyosuke. She says that the train is running late, and it'll take him an hour to get to where Sayaka is. Sayaka tells him not to worry and wonders what she will do for an hour. Suddenly she senses a witch and decides to fight it. Sayaka enters the barrier, and at the same time as another magic girl introduces herself as Kokowane. Sayaka admits she will leave to have help, since she usually fights with her friends. Kyoko says the same is true for her. The girls defeat the witch. Sayaka gives Kyoko the grief seed, saying that she had to defeat the witch anyway before she could meet with her precious person. Sayaka claims the grief seed is her way of thanking Kyoko. Sayaka then admits she still has an hour to kill. Kyoko then invites Sayaka for tea, as thanks for the grief seed. Sayaka jokes she'll order something expensive. At the cafe, Sayaka tells Kyoko that she became a magic girl to heal someone she loved. Kyoko says she's shocked to hear that. Sayaka asks wondered if things would be okay, but when she saw Kyosuke play the violin, she felt that everything was how it should be. Kyoko asks if Sayaka is meeting the person she made the wish for today. When Sayaka says they're buying a violin CD, Kyoko says Sayaka has a deep love for music and tells her to do her best. Sayaka asks Kyoko what she wished for. Kyoko says she wished to bring her family together again, so they could live happily. However, Kyoko admits she probably isn't happy because even after bringing her family back together, there were still problems. Kyoko says that in the past, she used to worry about it and wonder if her wish was a mistake. However, she claims to be fine with it now, and that she already said goodbye to the past self of her. Kyoko says that she won't let her wish be in vain, and that she will bring her family's hearts together. Sayaka says Kyoko is strong, but Kyoko says she spent most of her time sulking until recently. Kyoko says she decided to start thinking positive, and Sayaka says after hearing that she feels the same, can think more positively herself. Sayaka says that one can change a person's heart with their own power. Kyoko says that's what she believes in. Sayaka says she'll treasure her wish and believe in herself. Kyoko says Sayaka to make her day a success. Suddenly, Sayaka gets another message from Kyosuke saying he'll be there soon. Sayaka says she should get going, and that someday soon she and Kyoko should go for tea again. Kyoko agrees and then comments on Sayaka's perfume. Sayaka explains where it came from, and Kyoko says it'll level up her first impression stat. Sayaka points out that Kyosuke only's passion is music. Kyoko then asks what Sayaka will do after buying the CD with Kyosuke. Sayaka tells her about the spot Mary told her about. Kyoko says that sounds beautiful. Sayaka then says she has to leave to see Kyosuke. Kyoko says it will work out, and that any boy Sayaka meets will fall head over heels for her. Disbelieving, Sayaka says that would be nice, but then bids Kyoko goodbye and runs to the station. Sayaka feels like she's going to have a good day today. She's surprised to see her magical girl life has turned out this way. Due to the nature of her wish, Sayaka has powerful regenerative abilities. She can heal herself much faster than the other magical girls in the series, as well as great endurance. In battle, she can combine this self-healing special ability with magical techniques that detect her senses and block all forms of pain, becoming a nearly unstoppable berserker. Her regenerative abilities can even restore several limbs in seconds, even in the heat of battle, as it was shown when she fought against Holy Mami. Her weapon when fighting witches or other polymagi seems to be a cutlass sword, which can be mass-summoned, much like Mami's musket rifles. The swords in question can be then droned at the enemy one after another. Yet, even though it is never shown in the series, her swords have a layer on them, which can fire the blade at an enemy to pierce them. Her skill with the sword is quite notable, as she is able to do a flurry of strokes with it at once. While using her magic, circles of notes are sometimes seen around or near her. This is believed to be related to her wish to heal Kimjaro. She has also been shown summoning circles of notes in mid-air that she uses to jump off and change her direction in battle, leaving blue streaks behind her. These blue streaks seem to imply some sort of enhanced speed, as Sayaka has been seen moving faster than Slight can catch up during her fight with HNLE. Sayaka seems to be a dual fighter by default, being able to avoid attacks with ease. Within the Magia Record universe, when her soul gem turns black, she can summon Oktavia von Seckendoff as her doppel. It is known that Oktavia can summon a great amount of swords that can overwhelm an enemy at once, being launched through a fast-flowing tide of water that can defeat an enemy quickly. The doppel itself can also levitate, allowing Sayaka to hover in the air with it active. Her first name is written in hiragana, which has no special meaning. The word Sayaka, usually written in hiragana, can mean clear, fresh, or bright. In Japanese, the first character in her last name means beauty. The last tree means tree. Her name could also be written tree trunk or sake offered to the gods. Fact 1. Her doppel is based on a piece of concept art that can be seen in Rebellion the production note. Fact 2. In the Papa comic, she was referred to as the Dread of 0% Gotcha due to her late release. Fact 3. Despite not being the version featured in the game's timeline, the Homura Kemi as depicted in the original series appears in Sayaka's introduction video instead of the glasses version naive to this timeline. Fact 4. Her Magia, Prestissimo agitato, is a reference to a directive to perform a passage of composition at the speed faster than presto. Prestissimo presto is a typo played at high speed, and playing music is a very agile mannerism, agitato. Fact 5. Sayaka's VA is Eri Kitamura, who you may know as Miki Ano in Fresh Pretty Cure, and who is a magical girl themed in blue and has the name Miki. Sarah, the orange pearl mermaid princess in Mermaid Melody, Pitchy Pitchy Pure. Saya Otanashi in Blood Plus. Rima Toya in Vampire Knight. Amy Kurashima in Toradora. Mayu Orikata in Dora Dora Dora, and a bunch of other roles. And that's Sayaka Miki. Hope you enjoyed learning about her Magia record side, with some more details thrown into the mix. Next time, we go over the motherly veteran magical girl from the OG series, Mami Tomoe. So see you next time. Bye!